So if Marvin is not here and Spencer's our VP and he's not here, does that mean I have to leave the meeting?
Fully not prepared.
All right, so then, until Spencer gets here, I'm just gonna bring the meeting to order. Y'all okay with that? Because it's already 5:35 and I'm hungry.
For that, I just want to get a chairman back.
All right, forum is met on the state, I believe. I can- Yeah. Do you want to do minutes first, or do you want to do with the chairman, like, what's the agenda? Sorry. Okay, so election of chairman is first. Okay, well, I guess that's you, Ms. Law.
Well, I'm gonna ask that we postpone that until, we speak with the CEC and get some new recommendations from CEC.
Why would we get new recommendations, would be allowed to provide those recommendations within this fiscal year?
Well, it's, I mean, that's fine, I didn't know if we should ask CEC.
Because the CEC's next meeting is not until July.
Okay.
Oh, it's June, or June, is, yeah, or June, that's what we decided. I mean, that's fine, I'm just,
I don't have a specific reason other than I just thought they might want.
I mean, I'm not really sure the CEC's recommendation mattered much, so.
I think we are talking about two different things, Martin. You're talking about an appointment to the board,
Yeah.
and you're talking about a new chairman. Right,
No,
No, we're talking about chairman.
right.
Okay, so how do we want to do that? I mean,
You can really do it either way. You can appoint a new chairperson tonight if you want to. Or you can wait until you get your new member on board.
I think she's recommending that we wait till the CEC makes new recommendations until the opening is now on the board.
Right,
And then make the chairman recommendation after
You
that
can do that.
spot is filled, is that what you're saying?
Okay.
Yeah,
that,
y'all just tell me, that's what you were saying, because that's what I understood you.
yes.
Also, just a reminder that if we're filling that position will roll off at the end of December anyways. So for what that's worth.
It's perfectly fine to get to our next one, district, or come in our next meeting, and so to fill that position. It's totally fine.
If we elect the chairman tonight, we don't want 6 members,
We've
the council is underrepresented.
we've been underrepresented. But
You can do it either way. Either way is fine.
I'm now the only great person on the board, so. And, yeah.
You can really do it. I'll let that Congress do some more, so you can do either. So it's totally up to you guys. Let's take it off, but,
Well,
you can do it after you have a full board if you want.
what did we, if we did 9 o'clock?
If we do it tonight, we only have 6 members, in fact, tonight we only have 4.
Yeah.
To make that decision.
Right.
You don't have to do it with the two being out.
And if they're gonna meet in June, I mean, that's next month. If we-
Don't, okay, hang on, what is our June date in the CEC?
You don't want to keep Danny up, have to speak about it once, can we have an active chairman for tonight?
So CEC doesn't meet again until June 25th.
No, that was changed to June 11th, remember?
It was changed to June 11th.
Oh, you
And I
mean,
wrote that down, and I did write it down.
So,
oh,
Yes.
so you'll have one more district board meeting.
And we have to meet, this board has to meet in June as well, correct? So is there a way to move our June meeting for this board until we meet the following week after that? Because we don't have to meet in July, is that accurate? We just need to meet in June. Okay, so how do you,
so do you want to appoint the chairman just for tonight, so you don't have to do dual role?
on me, that's not what I'm saying. Hang on, let me get this out of my brain, because maybe it would be something creative and down, you know, something. So what if we move our district board meeting instead of that first week in June, we move it to like the third week of June, so the CEC can meet, make their recommendation. That'll give you a week or so to make your decision on who to appoint, and then we can vote on a chairman that third meeting in June, because we have to move the district board in June. But that would give us time to have a CEC meeting first.
So you're saying the 17th then?
Sure, whenever.
When is the CEC meeting?
The 11th. It would have to be the 17th if you need to be present, because I will be in Guadalajara the rest of the week.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I can be
You
here.
could do the
I've
7th.
got-
Yeah, you had a conflict on the 11th.
Yeah.
When we made like you were.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Easy. But at least gives you names that you can process through, because you
Okay.
get an email from everyone.
Okay, and then we'll meet on the 17th. That suit you all? That suit everybody?
Is everybody okay with 17th? Does that work for you, your schedule, June 17th, instead of June 3rd?
That's too far from me. Yes,
We're gonna push on that.
It's fine.
Okay. Recommend, okay, so I'm gonna say, Judge Shirley recommends the CEC recommend a, new set of names to fill the opening left by Mr. Swan. And, so are we, do we need to make a motion to waive the vote on the chair, or is it just, I need to make a note of it? I think we don't necessarily need to make a motion, yeah. So do I hear a motion to table?
I make a motion we table the chair.
Thank you. Motion made by Barry to table the chair position until June, date June, district board meeting will be moved to June 17th at 5:30 p.m. Everybody in agreement?
Yes.
So with that being, oh, did I get a second to that motion?
Second.
Thank you, later. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And I can't vote, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, right, I just wanna make sure that if I need to say aye, I can say aye. Okay, so now I present the minutes from the April 2024 meeting,
But
please.
do we need to, do we need to appoint her as chair tonight for tonight's meeting?
No.
No, okay. All right, you're just gonna serve in the dual role,
Yeah.
officially, sure, okay, all right,
Last time I was.
okay,
It helps me to talk and type at the same time, so I mean, now I can talk and type.
I'm good with it.
All right, so we have the district board meeting minutes from 4/1/24. There was a misunderstanding, I think, on if I had submitted those or not, so sorry for just getting them to they go. But, they are there, everything should be accounted for, please let me know if you see any errors. And I hope it appears everybody, I just copy and pasted the email in that we discussed from the override's position. To reflect that, why we did it that way. And then I'll entertain a motion whenever you're ready. Well, I spelled my own name wrong.
I just now noticed that.
Not the first time in my life. And I'm okay with the record reflecting my name still in the record. It's been worse than if I've been called. Then now. I don't like it. I mean, it's a bizarre.
It is.
I make a motion we approve the minutes from the April 1st full district board meeting.
Thank you.
Second.
I'll do any seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have Mark presenting the treasurer's report. Take it away.
Okay, we'll just go in order of the documents here. We'll start out with budget versus actual, not a lot has changed since the last meeting. For the year, we're at 117% of the tax revenue we expected, which is just shy of 2.55 million. We've also, accumulated $825 in revenue income from the rooms over the year. As far as interest income, we're at $63,694 on the year. Going down into your expenditures, your 51,000, 52,000 accounts, that is your agent, salaries and fringe benefits. So we've now made all 4 quarterly payments to UK, so they're now at 100% of our budgeted amount. Account 53,009, that's a vehicle maintenance and repair, it is now a little above 100%. That's mainly due to the fuel costs that have increased this year. And then there was a hitch and step on the new vehicle that was purchased. So account 54,006, which is on the back of this page, is your janitorial supplies. This past month, it also went just above 100% of the budget at 6,255. Account 55,001 is your dues and subscriptions, and as we've mentioned previous months, we are a little above on that at 170.9%. Flipping over to the next page, account 59,002 is your audit account. We're still setting at 2 audits on the year. We may or may not be doing the third, so you may incur another $6,450 fee this year, but we're waiting on that. Snares in the middle of that. As far as the account 59,006 and 59,009, that's your Department of Local Government fees and bank fees. They're both at 100%. We will not incur any more this year. As mentioned previously, account 59,010 is your building insurance, which went up this year with the premiums, it's above 100%. And then, overall, like your, account 61,001 is your vehicle purchase and lease, that account's a little above 100%, but we're still finding the category at 50%. And that's from the vehicle purchase and then the bus leases for the 4-H camp and Cloverwood camps. On your next page will be your statement of activity. This will be just for the month of March itself. Within that month of March, we brought in $65,126 in tax revenue, $175 in rental revenue, and $8,290 in interest revenue. Yeah, well, like I mentioned, account 51,000, 52,000, that represents your 4 quarter payment to UK, which covers your agent salaries and support staff and their fringe benefits. Account 53,002, that's your cleaning services that we have each month that comes in. Account 53,003, you had monthly exterminating, snow removal back in February, and then barn roof repair and garage door number 2 on the barn for the repairs on it. Account 53,007 is your equipment repair. That's your demo office equipment contract that we have each month. I did want to point out account 53,101 as your ledger. It was initially higher this month. There was a post bill back in February, if I'm not mistaken. What scenario informed me of. Account 54,001 marketing special programs. That's on your next page. That has increased a little this year. That's due to the 4-H camp getting ready to start and your other programs coming back into focus after COVID. Account 54,004 postage and shipping. It looks like it's significantly higher this year, 2023, or this month at $2,023, but it was actually in January and February that doubled up, so it's just a time difference. And then account 61,201. It'll be on the next page. The 12,210 under vehicle purchase, lease and rent. That is basically buses for your Cloverwood camp and your 4-H camp. That'll be coming up this summer, so they've already prepaid.
Alexis, you're at 1,200% on your line.
Of what?
I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, I'm not kidding, but I'm just teasing you. 541.
Oh, just for the one.
Yeah.
Oh, just for the month.
Yeah,
I don't spend any money, I don't know what you're talking about.
I was wondering, I thought it'd jump on the page, it's like, I missed one. Okay.
It's probably the farmers market stuff we got.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, so if you want to flip back to your statement of financial position. It's right before the end. Okay, I just wanted to point out that I currently on account you have approximately 4,216,000 on account across three accounts of Farm National Bank, Community Trust Bank. Our only debt used to be the take liabilities. And I also want to point out that there is a new account that has not been here previously. It's account 24002, which is notes payable. That comes from our June 30th, 2021 audit, and that accounts for the bonds premium. So there'll be an adjustment every year we have an audit that brings that premium in focus, which is at the end where we go pay this off, will account up to the 6.8 million. So I just want to bring it to your attention that account is now present, and it'll be changing moving forward as we get the audit entries for June 22 and June 23 as well. And our next few pages will be your check details of all the checks that went out in the month of March. Is there any questions on any of the financial statements?
That it was bonds.
The bond premium.
I'm seeing them more than, there's some videos already. This reconciliation report to the next thing.
That's,
Or is it just thinking?
that's in our record here. Just show everything to that bond, when it's reconciled.
I'll make a motion to approve the financial statement as presented.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have Rita with the board member recognition.
Thank you guys, so pretty well already covered that. I was just gonna let you know that Mr. Swan did officially send me his letter of recognition. And, that we were going to have 2 nominations from the CEC, and you guys already talked about it. Really good. We do appreciate very much Mr. Swan's service to the board. He's provided some great years of leadership and, so we appreciate that very, very much. And the letter is addressed to me if you want to see it. I'm happy to share. Yes.
Thank you, Rita. Community acceptance. Be time.
I'm not sure if we have someone's time to copy of the letter of resignation that committed to me from the board. I'll double check if we do all of this. And I don't want to issue. It'll be fine to do a copy.
Yeah.
I think we see attached.
Yeah, if anybody wants to mark him.
Thank God.
We definitely appreciate the service. This was the second term. This term we completed. To do a plan like Alexis said, we'll be starting finishing on that term. So that person will get us through the tax rates.
I don't know if this is a good time to go ahead and mention it, but the other letter I need today. Director Board, if you want to say that a little
We'll put it in.
later.
Yeah, under public.
Sure, okay. Well, what everybody's been wanting, the community needs assessment, we made a big deal about it this past fall, and what we finally have. So who responded in Boyle County? Well, you can see the results overwhelmingly white and female. And we have a pretty good bell curve for age, you can't see older than 85 over there. But a big thing, most of these folks, they've been familiar with extension, there are people, they use our services, they come to programs, and we thank them for that. Income, all over the board, education, all over the board there as well.
So you can see, go back, so you can see at the top, we had 477 respondents to that.
It's pretty good. We all had really good.
I think our goal was 500, what was Rita? Yeah.
You were really good.
Yeah.
Y'all did good.
So this is what the top 15 looks like in Kentucky. Minimizing youth substance abuse, life skills training for youth, strengthening youth or workforce readiness, ensuring individuals and families have access to affordable, nutritious food and all. That's not the top four, and I'll let you read the rest, but I will point out these. These are the only two that Boyle County did not have. So after you've seen Kentucky's top 15, you've also seen 13 of Boyle County's top 15.
One thing to point out is the difference in how important these are, 4.4 to 4.2. So not a big difference. They're all pretty important to, Kentuckians.
And just throw up your hand and read your phone.
All of them are on the next screen except for those
Yeah,
two, so.
Yeah. So all of the top four for Kentucky is also the same for Boyle County. It's just a matter of where they're ranked at. The only two that's different are these two.
It's my job. You need to use this
You need to
for.
hire me? I know somebody looking for a job.
We already studied, like that's fine.
This is what Boyle County thought of for ag and natural resource needs. I'm not sure if you all want me to go into all of them. We can cut it at the top 15 if you all want.
Obviously, we are really great at high-speed internet and getting people internet here.
Yes.
So that one might be a little bit of a struggle for us, but what that tells us is that more of our people need things that they can access education not using the internet. So that's what that tells us, and we will try and host meetings here for people who want high-speed internet, but these things can be used in the community. So, you know, Judge, if you wanted to use it for something to try and push that, this is the kind of results that we can give to you. So it's not necessarily only for our use, it's for the community's use.
And if you absolutely need high-speed internet, we have put people in a meeting room and have them log on to our.
Yeah, we did that in COVID.
So we tried.
It is a huge issue.
And we don't need to go through all of these, we just wanted you to know they're available, and we can go through them if you want to look at anything specifically, as we talked throughout tonight, but we figured we'd leave the top 15 overall up, but just kind of give you a little snapshot of some of these different categories. And Tyler put this together, I'm taking over.
Yeah.
I added your name to Tyler anyway.
Yeah, it's a kid baby, I just added.
That's not very much, just a few screenshots. But one thing I really like about it is the dashboard feature with it. As you can not only go out and find the county, but you can see, well, what did women of 85 and older say? Or someone, what did people that their income was over 200,000 say?
140.
Yes. Educational, and you can pick that out. I think that's a good feature.
This is online and available to anybody to access for any county in the state as we speak. That's great.
And just backtracking a little bit, just looking at Boyle County results, nutritious foods came up a lot. And good thing we have Millie on board. She hit the ground running. This here, in case you all wanted to see it in real time, I can click here and it'll take us to the website.
Yeah.
Right, correct.
Which,
It really is amazing what you can do with this dashboard, and like, you can pull out so many different filters with it. It's really good. Yes, it's because it's on.
That all looks really, really good. Question I have to ask, looking at the respondents and race and ethnicity and so forth. Do the agents know of any underserved populations that are not represented that should?
I mean, we didn't meet Perry, I mean, if that's what you're asking.
And so this is real time, so you can see however many, it's like 311 white folks.
I think our, black population is around 8%, and we were at 4%.
Yeah.
So do we somewhat need to have addressing the needs of underserved people?
Sure, I mean, we do that on a regular basis, so we
Pardon
have,
me?
we call it all reasonable efforts, where we go above and beyond our normal efforts to reach minority groups. We're not perfect, and, you know, there's only so many black farmers, right? So, you know, that takes, you know, into what we do, but as an office, if you look at our office numbers, we hit parity no problem. If you look at it individually, like Tyler and I are gonna struggle the most, because we have the smallest amount of minority farmers, but it doesn't mean that we don't have them, it doesn't mean we don't work with them.
I think 4-H has it the easiest of those because we're in the schools, which is the population of this town.
Right.
But you do have some responses there as television covering.
So
I would go back to one of the screenshots you had, showing the list of needs, just it doesn't matter which one. Okay, of all those things there. That were. Can extension actually support and have programs for?
And currently have programs for, or have the
Yes,
potential? for
we
programs?
have current programs.
That's a very good question than what we could have. For.
Well, and that would be the next question.
Yeah.
That would follow that.
So youth life skills, 4-H is doing that. Ensuring individuals and families have access to affordable nutritious food, we're doing that within Olivia's scope. Strengthening youth workforce readiness, 4-H's, we have our business, club, our youth club, like those are, they're developing those youth ready or workforce ready skills. Minimizing youth substance use, there's probably more you could specifically do to address that, but providing those adults that are positive influences in those young kids' lives is the number one factor of reducing substance use. So you could argue we're doing that. Improved access to mental health and well-being resources. And I know that we have those resources to give away. I think there's a pamphlet in the lobby of something about mental health and well-being. I'm sure there's programming from the FCS's perspective as well that is already going on.
Yeah, Olivia has several.
Yeah.
programs. She does a different one each year.
Substance use addiction and recovery. I think she's working with Isaiah House, if I remember correctly.
Then she works with interagencies, so
Yeah.
she works with all of them on that. That one is one of those things where we're related, we might do some programming, like I might work with them to do a garden at the, you know, Isaiah House or something like that. It's not directly me, but it is something that, you know, we do touch and go with those.
Reducing youth obesity through the nutrition, that's something Olivia is doing through her.
Really high-speed internet is the one that we can't provide.
We can't, sustainability family farms is exactly what you two are doing, you know, food and health, that's 3 of them address that. Minimizing bullying and school violence, again, there could be very specific health programming, I'm sure that 4-H can do, but again, providing those positive youth outlets for those in our program, reduces that bullying and school violence. Building financial literacy and resource management skills, that was one thing that I think of, like, Lydia had talked about in CDC, that she is programmed and nobody shows up for her. And she really.
She's done some stuff in the schools, but they don't give her a ton of time, I can only teach so much in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, with a kid, so, looking at doing some programs around
I
that.
think I've seen PowerPoints for that on the printer today.
Coping strategies, I know that, I don't know necessarily that Boyle County has been approached by this, but Judge Petrie, who serves both Boyle and Mercer counties, has been in communication with the Mercer County schools to implement coping strategies through their extension office. And, so I'm sure that will be done down the for Boyle County as well. Strengthening youth adult and mentor relationships, that is what 4-H is about, in the long run, and it's social emotional and behavioral education for adults working with youth. That's across the board. I mean, all of our programming does that, all like Tyler, Alexis, Olivia, and Kim, all do that.
There's definitely plenty of opportunities.
Yeah, there's very specific programming, I'm sure, in all of those areas that we are addressing those, at least in a minimal capacity. Every single one of those, is definitely to be in. But, is that accurate?
Yeah, and I just, you know, it doesn't all have to be us.
No.
You know what I mean, like I think what we've learned a lot of in extension is we should all do what we're really good at and support each other in that, and so that's why, you know, Alethea sits on interagency group, that's why Tyler and I sit on, you know, constantly help with conservation, and we help with all these other groups, because we recognize that we can support those groups without having to overwhelm ourselves with that, so, I think the relationship building that we do to support these efforts is equally as important. And using these to help support those groups, you know, giving this data to, all these groups that are in the county to say like, hey, this is what people are saying, and maybe they can use that, and if the schools wanna see that, so they can use that to, you know, push certain programs that they've been, you know, which ones we do, well, this can help tell them, so.
ASAP would be, that information would be helpful for them.
Right, yeah.
If we could figure out how to do some kind of like, we used to have a secret garden at school and at Woodlawn, and we could bring something like that back, it should be great to present to the board, and like the Boyle County board, be like, hey, food insecurity is important for these kids, like how can we, you know, whatever. Data is helpful. Okay. I know presentation.
Tyler's the backbone here, I'm just add for her.
Tyler's muscles.
We definitely appreciate everybody who filled out the surveys and investments to give us these great results.
Tyler, do you want to, should we leave that up? Do you guys want us to leave up those top 15? Just.
Sorry, for looking on that. The use and find me now, well, you said the access to the link out in the,
It's up to you. We had, I think, a little over 36,000 assessments statewide. No, excuse me, everything else is really well.
6,000 statewide.
36, over 36.
Oh, okay, I thought you said 6,000.
Yeah, no, that would be too impressive. We did really good in our areas.
trying to find the links so that I can put that more directly into our financials. So here we go. Right there. Controls.
Yeah, you guys can hop on that website and just do all the filters and just like look at it, so you guys what you want. Things like that.
We don't need any motion, we're good, that was just a presentation. So Rita presents the county director position.
Yeah, guys, we kind of talked about this last few meetings and, you know, if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer those questions. It's totally your choice what you like to do with this local position. So if you don't have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those questions. So to you guys,
So we can have a recap. I think what we decided with at the last meeting was that we would add it to the budget, so that should we have future discussion at this meeting or any further ones from this meeting, that we could approve what were added without having to go back and readjust the budget. So it is in the budget, but we don't necessarily have to hire it, we're able to at any point in time.
that's right.
Director or the manager.
With the manager, yeah, we approved the director with the understanding that manager was less paid, and therefore following the budget. We budgeted for it.
And just to clarify, it's totally up to you guys what you want to do with it. The director position gives you the options to add positions, like if you think there's, enough need down the road to add a second 4-H agent or a second FCS or ag or horticulture agent, then you would have, or a fine arts agent, you would have that option. You certainly, could do the county manager will take all of the extra stuff off of the agent's plate as well. That person will supervise support staff, but it does not give you the option of adding positions. Again, it's totally up to you on what you want to do with that.
It doesn't give the, for hiring agents, right, but assistants can be hired with a manager?
Assistants can, you just can't add any agent positions.
Right.
That's right.
How is this still working out?
So we have, currently, I have one county, it's Scott County, that has a county director that's been there for a while, Allison. There are other counties that have one, Boone County in our areas have one, Central Region, Montgomery County has one. It's worked really, really well. Like I said, it takes all that off of the agents, so they can do more programming, because they're not tied up with budgeting and facilities and support staff, meetings, things like that. That would take all of that off of them, which is a good thing. But it's worked really well in the other counties that have one. That person, the director, is part of our UK leadership team, like they would be part of the interview teams for your counties, if you were to hire agents, and they would be part of that. So they would have a place at the table. A manager, the hiring process is different. There's also training that the manager will go through. There's extensive training for both of those positions, but especially the county director position. But yeah, it's been really good since we met last time. I think actually, the last time we met, we had 2 director positions that were posted. We had 2 other ones that are posted or to be posted. Not in mine, but they were in places in C1, C2. And we got a couple of 3 county manager positions. So one's already up. So,
What's the,
Problem getting that.
that's my question.
well, I think the 2 that were up last time, they had closed probably. And honestly, they're not mine, so I don't know. But I think there are applicants. But I don't know that they're not my counties. So,
Can you find out just how many applicants? I will be this middle in the next meeting.
yeah, I mean, I know there are people, I don't know how many, but I know they're not reposting. On this picture.
Would it be possible for us to go ahead and post it and then not accept any of the applicants if they fail to meet our?
Yeah, so I can share a little bit with you guys about
It would be our decision though. Like we have no influence. That's the discussion we had last time. We will be able to ask questions, but we don't get to have an influence in who's decided. That's strictly UK.
I was gonna-
hope we're all on the same page.
Yeah, so I was gonna share with you guys, but if we did that last time, there's not been a whole lot of changes to that. As far as the director position, they will be doing a live in-person presentation in your county. You have the opportunity to submit questions, have input that way. You'll have input like a little, Qualtrics. You can provide input and feedback afterwards. So that part has not changed.
But the ultimate decision comes from that.
It'll come from the team. But you all do have input as far as, you know, when questioning or the feedback afterwards.
Do any of the current agents work with fine artists now in any way?
Yeah, we did sat on both our boards over the time. I think she rotated off last year, but she sat on both of them over the 11 years we've been here. And I know Kim did a lot. I've done stuff at the Community Art Center.
Debbie does
Even Debbie has a art, like a craft club, and they learn how to crochet and, you know, do stuff like that.
And submit things to the state fair.
And they submit stuff to the fair. So, yeah, I think that there's, even though we don't have a fine arts agent, there is presence there just because that's what the county asks for, so.
You know, the short timeline in this year. I think they're going to post it and get it. Try to draw applications.
With the director versus the manager.
I don't think that, we approved it for the next fiscal year's budget, we didn't approve it, it's not really on this fiscal year budget.
Well, we would like to have something about July, like.
So if you went to do it July 1st, it'll be posted for 3 weeks on the trade jobs. After that, it usually takes, I don't know, maybe like a week for the phone interviews. And then depends on scheduling, another couple of weeks, maybe a couple of weeks. So we're to like 6 weeks. And then depending on the individual, how much time they have to get.
That would be July 1st.
So you're right on it. And that's assuming we get it posted fairly quickly, but they're posting fairly quickly. I think I just got an manager posted today. And we met last week, so it's been about a week to post. But you're right on it. So Natasha says you probably be cleaner from 5 to 12 applicants.
She got that in. She said there was about 5 to 12 applicants, in that, which is what she's referring for that.
So, and then she just testified.
That was your question. Just make sure that.
Yeah, they just, like, they just posted. They're doing it directly, they just posted in Madison, those just closed.
Remind me what some of the qualifications are. Do they have to, what kind of degree do they have to have? And do they have to have so many years of experience? And what's some of the?
Oh, let me just pull one up, that way I can tell you all, okay? Need to pull up and what So a direct manager, you don't have to have a degree necessarily.
I think if we're looking at, I'm just talking here, I think if we're looking at hiring another agent, we would have to go with the director position, right?
But are we looking at hiring a agent? We haven't discussed that.
That's not that we're talking, I mean, you know.
Yeah. So I guess maybe,
Sure.
maybe we start there, maybe that's where our discussion needs to start right now. Are we looking at, do we need to hire an agent in any of the positions?
In the past, the CEC has kind of been great for that. So like my position was because CEC said Jerry's really overwhelmed. He can't support the ag community. He needs help in the horticulture area. So, you know, hiring new assistants, usually that stems from, you know, an agent saying, I'm overwhelmed, I can't do my job as well. And so then the CEC says, you know, either pull off some things from you or, you know, let's give you some more help. So, you know, of course, you all can make that decision from a financial point of view, but usually who is hired and if we need one is something the CEC has sent forth is sort of like historically how that works. But, you know, putting the money in the budget to pay for them is what,
Well, just from what I've seen, and I'm just looking at it when some of these meetings in the CDC meetings, the list of, I guess, jobs that are done with each agent, 4-H is huge. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying we do this, we don't do this, I'm just saying from my perspective, it looks like if there was one to be hired, it would be a second or 18, but,
That's been the discussion for years, but several years ago, when they made the decision to hire the second, hire Debbie's position, it was because the county did not want to approve the budget to have a second, agent's fund, or agent's salary. They, at the time, the board and CEC made a decision to, do lesser of the two salaries and hire a program assistant.
Okay.
So that's why there was two program assistants and not two agents. But that doesn't mean that's where we're at currently, it's just that's where it's came from previously.
In my way of thinking, we would need the director or manager to look at the total programming and do a needs assessment that would justify hiring another agent.
So see, like, instead of us viewing it and saying, hey, we think you need to do this in your job, somebody from in the actual office saying, hey, we need this, there's that need. And that's what we should do, but then that's hiring something, potentially, we may not need a director, that need is not there to hire an agent, maybe just a manager, so then it's like, the fish, the chicken or the egg, you know, which one do we pick?
Manager can't do anything, director,
Right, but we're not paying the director, potentially unnecessarily.
not a lot.
Essentially, probably 24,000.
Yeah. Would
Plus
be,
benefits.
If it was max.
Yeah,
I just,
that's what I'm saying, what's the qualifications, you know? So
I
like,
looked it up for a director, preferred education / experience is a MS plus 4 years of experience in cooperative extension service. For a director. With supervision and leadership experience. So like, if you look at a manager position, it is,
expensive.
so you think like a retiring agent?
it could be somebody within extension, it could be somebody within. But then you're just, there's no degree. Preferred education. Experience. Includes outstanding leadership in our personal relationship building, employee coaching, and development, even necessarily embodied. So. There's no,
We have,
or manager. Either then it could be somebody from the assistant, it could be somebody that maybe took a different job and came out. Obviously, if you're from within the system, you've got experience and.
Yeah.
But what the extension is all about, that's gonna be a really interesting.
Well, it's something that makes this a whole circle, that you hire people one of them, but I guess I'm going to take it down. I would make the motion that post. Directly. Yes.
I'm not ready for that. I think we need to do a little discussion on this, we just got the needs assessment. I haven't got that down.
Well, let me make the second, and then we can discuss,
Okay.
and if we need to withdraw, we can withdraw.
Okay.
hang on, before moving forward with just voting and stuff, is he now the chair, do I vote, or am I still the chair and I can't vote? Because that is important for me to know.
Well, you were just acting chair, so he's actual vice president.
Yes,
So,
so you are now taking over and I can vote. Good.
she's like, I am done being nice about this.
Technically, I think you call
Okay, so I'm gonna say in a little star in here, Spencer has arrived.
yeah.
What did I say?
I want to tell about all of us, been like, I had a call from work that just got over and so I'm here. So
How dare you work, how dare
vice chair, duties or chair. Yeah.
Speaking of that, just to catch you up real quick, we decided, to move again June 3rd No. June 3rd, district board meeting to June 17th, to allow the CEC to meet June 11th, as they were already scheduled to do so, to nominate new people for the now opening on our board. And then at that point, that June 17th meeting, we will decide who fills that president position and any other moving around. Make sense? So we did not exist on Mr. Smart's position or his spot on this board, like his chair or his actual chair. Either one tonight. We push that to June 17th.
Okay. And the purpose to do that after the CEC is.
So the CEC
So they
can
can
make a recommendation,
be.
so that's really can decide.
Okay, okay. Got it.
And now we're up to Doc make your motion to post for the position of director, and I think, so we can have discussion.
So,
Okay,
Danny motion to post director position, Shirley seconded. Barry has, an opinion. This is Barry kind of share.
And I just, I don't want to do rushing this decision, to meet the needs of. I guess I'm just not as, I know we've got to really. But getting the right person in here, do we actually need more? I'm still learning. So I don't know, but if you're saying we can post the position and not hire. No,
You don't have a choice in that. If they find someone, they will hire them.
That they feel
That
like
they feel like
is
is qualified.
If they're qualified. If there's no one qualified, of course, it'll be us.
Potentially.
If no one's qualified.
and can I ask questions as chair?
Yeah.
Oh,
You can.
I could. So if we open this position up, remind me again, does the board or does anyone in this county have a say in who gets hired?
We discussed that. They will have a presentation in front of all of us. And we will get to ask questions of them, and then we will get to state our opinion, but that is as far as our input in the matter goes.
But take into account, I am part of that interview committee who will have final say in that. I mean, the university takes very seriously your input. I mean, I know it may not sound like we do, but we really do. I mean, even whether it's, a staff assistant position or a program assistant, I mean, your input is listened to and considered. But there may be things that come out, for example, during phone interviews that you all don't hear about necessarily that could have some difference in there, but, the interview team has to just kind of take everything into account. And your input is never, taken for granted or lying. So there would be a lot in-person presentation here, as well as the board would be able to be here, see the individuals and provide feedback.
It's like a public presentation that we can attend, not necessarily for this board.
And that's for the director position.
And the interview team would not be comprised of any members of this board, correct?
No.
Is that all from campus or?
We would all be made up, like Natasha and I would be part of that. There's a whole team.
Okay.
Probably about 6 or 7 individuals would be part of that team from the university.
But only Natasha would be the, people who have impacted today with this office, would just be you and Natasha, the rest would be statewide campus.
It's pretty much like it was for the area director position. We have certain key folks that are on the interview team.
Was it still like a hiring an agent, does this board have any input into hiring an agent?
So you guys
It's
have.
all done through you, Pat.
No, you have the opportunity to have a screening committee in place. Like if y'all had an agent lead, you all would have to vote to approve to post the position. And then you can decide if you want to have a screening committee made up of 4 or 5 individuals to review the qualified candidates and provide input.
But you guys still have the ultimate
Yes.
decision.
You're not, unless it's changed since when Tyler was hired, and that was with Jenny, like, that screening committee doesn't even get to technically rank those people, like, they just say, we like these ones the most, and that's the equivalent of, like, you can't say this is our first pick, second pick, but it might have changed since Tyler was hired, but that was the way it was when he was hired.
So now the screening committee looks on the strengths of each individual and opportunities for them.
Which is not a screening committee director position.
No, that's why they're coming here to do an interview or to do a presentation with you all as a board. So that all the board members have the opportunity to hear from the candidates.
So to one of Barry's points, how do we know we need one? I mean, who can tell us? Can you tell us? Can agents tell us? Who can tell us if we need a director or not?
Ultimately, that whether or not you can hire is ultimately your decision.
But how do we make a decision if we don't know what we need one?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, the county decision council can give you programming input. But
So do we need to-
financially, it's up to you guys.
Do we need to have this conversation at CEC potentially on June 11th?
I mean, it depends on what you all see as your future, you know, where you want the office to go. You know, that's the ultimate decision, and what you want for your agents. I mean, in some counties, it's really important that the agents have more time to do programming and not the other stuff that they have to do. So,
Well, I'm all for being able to hire another agent if one is needed. If that's the only way to get it done, then, you know. But then again, we don't know if we need a second agent in any of our divisions, for lack of a better word.
It is my understanding in general capacity that there are not many counties our size or smaller that have more agents than we have. We have more or equal amount or more than those counties our size or smaller. So that doesn't necessarily indicate need, because our county just may need more agents. That's okay. That's a statement that I feel like is important to say. There are very few counties with more agents that are our size.
But if I'm missing something, then somebody speak up and tell me that I'm missing the boat on whatever it is.
I think there's always a need for an agent in every, I mean, I'm sure they would like another ag agent. I'm sure Alethea would like another SCF agent. I'm sure, Kim would love to have another 4-H agent, but I don't think it's necessarily if they want one, it's whether the county feels that adding another one would benefit them more than the way the programming is currently. Does that make sense? So maybe we shift our perspective from whether or not they feel like they need one and whether the county feels that they need.
Tyler and Alexis did a good job presenting the information tonight.
Yeah.
When I'm thinking of what we deal with as a board, we spend just about every meeting dealing with administrative issues that are not in the old sense part of the agent's job. All the time they spend putting presentations together and filing reports and all of that takes them away from working for the people. You're completely correct. I think it was in February, maybe March meeting, when you all were giving your presentations on all that. I think I asked you all how much percent of your time you all were spending on that.
And their answers were that it was very minimal amount of time that they were responsible for this job duties and compared to their program duties. Alethea said it was hardly anything to do the CEC or to do the district board. Alexis said it was very minimal because there's only 2 to 3 meetings for her a year for CEC. And there's technically only supposed to be like 3 or 4 district board meetings. We just happen to have them every month around here, so. We just like each other so much. But we're only obligated as a district board, I think, to meet 4 times a year.
That's correct.
Yeah, but we're on our 5th meeting of the year right now. Sure.
And we have to meet in June,
I
I'm
don't have
sorry.
to meet at least in June.
And obviously,
We have to be.
Have to meet in August, because it's vaccinated, but we've got important things for June that are community meetings. Those ones will be good.
so do the things coming in June, does that signify any need to look at this position more so? Like, I don't know what they are.
No, there'll be MOAs with, the school looking at moving, adjusting the backpack program so that families can shop. And they'll do that here, and we will be able to bring the programming to them.
Which is
During that. Right, so, that's what that is about, but it'll be more in detail, that's the general scope of it. So they'll be coming to us more for that programming, and there'll be a level of, they have to listen to how healthy a cabbage is, you know, and then they go get their cabbage. So, that would be that. I mean, I have a hard time talking to you all about this, because there's been some feelings that agents are overarching in your all's decisions. And I just want you all to feel like you are making the decision as the board, and that we are not pushing you towards something. So if you're wondering why we haven't spoken up, that is why, because we don't want anyone in the community to feel like we have pushed you towards spending money, not spending money, because it's not our money. We are paying employees, you know, when it comes down to it, but it's really hard because we work for you all. So UK pays us, UK yells at us, but we work for you all, and so it's a hard line for us to kind of be between, to be honest. Because you all are what's important to us, and that's our daily job, but like, UK is big brother, so, you know, what I mean?
Is this, so if we move forward with this position and someone is hired, I would never want this to happen. But if there was either budgetary reasons or needs assessment changed, where it's like, we don't need this position anymore, it's probably gonna be hard to stop that position, correct?
Yeah, I think you have to have really good justification for getting rid of a person.
Well, and you have to think too, like, not only if we hire a direct position who has upper percentage of the range of salary plus benefits, and then we hire an agent as well, because we've hired that director and they've identified a need for an agent, that's a whole lot of addition to the budget that we've just pulled out. Like, our county will be paying for $150,000+ at that point, between a director and an agent. And that's quoting an agent's job at 50,000, and that's on the low actually, after salary and budgets, and, I mean, where's Danielle?
Well, I've got notes from whenever we talked about this in February, and the county director position, if you hired at the high end of the salary plus benefits, would be $120,000
Yeah,
salary. And
yeah, and then that's not even including if they found a need to hire an agent, and the agent salary and benefits. Benefits was the word I was looking for there, for the second ago.
I would still give it to you all as the board, if you hired anybody that, I mean, the director doesn't have that.
Right, but I think that's what we would be looking at the director to tell us. And so that, like, if we don't need another agent, then why hire a director? If we do need an agent, we have to hire. But how do we know if we need an agent, is back to where Julie's question. And I think, like Alexa said, the CEC has historically made that recommendation, or that assessment fees. And the CEC has been jam-packed full of information about where it currently is happening and where the programs are heading, because that's what we've been doing the last 3 meetings. So it may be, surely, if you're okay with it, appropriate to take that back to the CEC, let them know that we are really debating between manager and director. We need to know if you guys see the need for an agent, because that will guide our position here.
so we table this event, so there's a motion on this, say,
Yeah,
uh,
so we need to vote on that motion.
Well, the talk about, I mean, as far as the budget goes, I think it could substantiate hiring a director. I mean, I don't think the money's the problem.
that's right.
Just matter where you're spending. So right now, you're to a good $555,000 a year.
Right,
So even if the agent and the director, let's say 200,000, you're still good about 350,000. It's just a matter where you can spend the funds.
yeah.
Well, and you gotta think if we're hiring another agent, those funds need to be allocated to their programming and their kind of things too. So it won't really be as much as that and be spread out between another agent as well.
Really at least 200,000.
Yeah.
With the travel and all the benefits and
How
everything.
much did you say?
I'd say at least 200,000 between agent and director combined.
If we hired an agent with the purpose of hiring, I mean, a director with the purpose of hiring an agent. I'll put that right.
Good
And
benefit.
the agent may not come, but, I mean, it may not come at all, or it may come a few years down the road, or, you know, you still got the director doing whatever the director can do to help the other agents. I don't know what it is.
How difficult would it be to upgrade a manager to director position should we decide we need an agent 5 years down the road?
But yeah,
So,
would they be eligible to put?
Right, yeah,
so it depends upon their, if they don't have to degree.
yeah. Two
If they
different
don't have to
qualifications.
degree, they wouldn't be eligible.
We do pay for them to get a degree though.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
It's that master's degree. Prefer.
So that's the separation between the two, the main differentiating factor.
That, yes, yeah, both of them, I mean, of course, the experience is preferred, but yes, the director position is a must preferred.
So that's the interesting thing, you keep saying preferred, and I have found in my current line of work that preferred and required are two very different things. So I can be a guidance counselor as long as the school guidance counseling degree is preferred, but if it is required, I cannot, because I hold a clinical degree, not a school business.
So it's listed as preferred education / experience.
So they don't have to have a master's. They have a-
I understand that includes.
Yeah.
They have bachelor's plus 2 degree of experience at equals master's.
Yeah,
Or they can have nothing, X
Yeah.
number of years and still.
UK does both. Yeah.
So,
So I think the question is, do we want to post a director position? It's because I don't know if the CEC can really tell us if we need a director. Yes, they could tell us if we needed another agent,
Yes.
but the director, I'm not sure wouldn't be just a board decision.
Right, and I think you're right there, but I don't know, again, if the CEC says, hey, we don't need another agent right now, we're doing okay right now. We don't see it in the next 5 years, which is what we've been talking about forever, and CEC it feels like, the next 5-10 year plan. If they're saying we don't see a need for it in the near future, then I'm not sure we see a need, or I would vote against hiring a director at this position, at this point, if we don't need to hire an agent, if their need is not there. And I don't know if the need is there because it's not a conversation that's been happening, you know what I mean?
If the internal, like that kind of auditing of, I'm just thinking about like, why can't we do a needs assessment where you hire somebody to do a private needs assessment?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's gonna save you potentially $200,000 or $100,000 and you get good information and probably information that we didn't do, if this isn't enough, which obviously it's not because this decision is hard to make. I mean, it can't cost that much. It's not gonna cost you a director position to find somebody to just come in and look at things as they are. You know, it's not anybody's in trouble, it's not UK, it's just, they're gonna talk to people, and they're gonna meet with the CEC, and they'll meet with you all, and they'll meet with us. And I mean, that's what we did with the building assessment, is they did a needs assessment with us before the board decided what they wanted to pay for.
This is
and-
helpful, but I feel like this doesn't tell us that we need a new agent, because we just discussed that we're doing all this.
I'm just throwing that out there, it's your all's money, you can, there's a line item that'll fit under, where you all can do an external, you know, needs assessment from a company that would just look, and like UK has gone through those from an external source, not weird.
I like that.
I'm not pushing anything, just giving you options.
Is
No,
that
I like
something
that.
that can be done? So if we can do it for a building, can we do a needs assessment under UK's rules for
Programming,
programming and the needs, the,
and it would just be a
Personnel,
report that would go to the
everything.
CEC, you don't have to do anything with it, you know, it's not like if they want to be, needing to look at financials, so there wouldn't be any.
I feel like that is the information we are waiting for, like, as a board, to
That's
make a
fine.
decision either. Am I incorrect there, board? I don't want to speak on all of their house, but we keep saying we want more information. Barry said he wants more information.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking and trying to put all this together, and sometimes it takes a little while, but basically, the questions we are asking, if we had a director, we probably could have those answers. I mean, that would be what their job is, and I'm going back to what Danny said about that, and I definitely am not in favor of just spending money to spend money.
And this may not impact any decision you guys make, but I want to let you know that in 2029, when we pay this debt off, we will have an additional about 320,000 a year on top of that, from $500,000. So there will be decisions that need to be made in the coming years on what's going to happen. As far as tax rates, bonds, whatever you guys decide, I just want you to aware.
And you said we're already here for $500,000 forward.
$500,000 a year. So that's removing, it would pay down $1 million for 2 years.
And in my world, we need to find an officer person, have a second floor to take the load off some of the floor.
Okay, I mean, I think you could make that argument about any of them, that's the problem, like, any of them could use the extra set of hands. The extra programming, the extra something.
And you could have the director and two agents. 300,000 or less. So, but we can't get another agent unless we get a director. Okay.
Do you all want me to read through the job summary? Would that be helpful the way it's posted on, about the director does?
You printed those and gave them to us.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots and lots for that person to do.
And that person would be a direct liaison between the agents and the board, is that what I remember?
So the county director will take, like right now, Vivian has district board responsibilities. I'm doing most of it, but that person, we would hope that the agents would come to district board meetings, they would not have to, but we would help them, they still would, and in Scott County, they're still there every time. But that person would have primary responsibility for the fiscal, for the budget, kind of our board meetings, CEC meetings, all the reporting, client protection, support staff, office staff meetings, making sure all the reports are done and turned in. Like fostering teamwork and collaboration within the office and also with other groups out in the community. Of course, working with the district board. Next year, we have plan work coming up. They'll take responsibility for making sure that plan work with input from the agents, of course. Just kind of make sure everything runs at the office the way that it should. And this person is not gonna come in, and this person is not gonna micromanage. You know, anyone here in the office is not meant to be in that line of it.
But they would be doing evaluations,
They will evaluate.
so that eventually is managing and potentially micromanaging.
Well,
You-
we're not
Their
gonna
team
let
as such.
right, we're not gonna let someone come in and micromanage to the point where every little step, I mean, that's not gonna happen. But they will be doing performance evaluations for agents and support staff, which I do now.
And you would be that person's, that director's manager, correct? So they would only report to you.
They will report to me. So I'll
So
still be at your board.
while these 1,000% as respectful as possible, you're in favor of this position simply because it takes a huge chunk of your job off of your shoulders.
I'll still be here.
Yeah, I mean, you'll still be doing your leadership position, but a lot of your job description is currently what you just described to us, right? For
But
this
I'll
office.
still have, like, with my county that has a panel, I'm still involved, like, with their board meetings, setting their tax rates, you know, doing their budget, I'm still involved with them, so I'm not, like, never there. And, I still have responsibilities for them. Ultimately, even though you have a county director who runs that route, it's still.
The kind of director's gonna have to, well, I mean, we're not gonna be so fortunate, I don't think that we'll have somebody call our shoes and knows how extension works. I mean, they may have a good idea of just,
You know, it could be somebody that's been an agent,
sure,
you know, you never know. But there's gonna be extensive training for the manager or the director, either one. The director will be part of our UK leadership team. So they'll be at all the staff meetings and everything. But there will be extensive training for both of those positions. And at the end of the day, it's up to you. I mean, I'm gonna be involved with your office regardless, so.
I just don't feel like I have enough information. I mean, I know we have a ton of information, but I don't feel like it's any information that is guiding me in a direction for director or manager. And that's how I felt the other day.
And ultimately, it's up to the girls.
I'm gonna change, I went from not thinking, because I didn't really know, but I really feel now that we're gonna move forward, we're gonna have to have, in order to do that. Now, when it's the right time, when we do that, I can get it. So.
So you're in favor of it, but not necessarily in favor of it right at the second, with everything.
Yeah. Then again, you know,
I'm not opposed to either one, I just don't know which one would be the better fit for our office. Honestly.
I think financially, you're getting a bigger bang for your buck at the rate. Yeah, if we didn't have the money, it'd be a real different story.
We have the money right now. But in our economy,
No,
it's
like
scary.
looking down the road, we're probably gonna have it, you know, for the next few years also too, so I think our tax base is growing, is unpredictable inflation.
Yes, it sure is.
Whew. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, it's your all's decision. If you're worried, there is at least one county who's smaller than rural population loss has had a record for years. If you're worried about trying to justify it, but at the end of the day, it's up to you guys.
We just-
That county Montgomery?
Yeah, how long were those doing for us?
We're smaller than, you know, population wise.
I just looked it up on the internet, according to the 22,
You can't believe you're on that.
they had a little over 28,000, and they're a little over 30, it's pretty close. But it may have changed for the last couple of years, since last year.
Rough discussion. Motion, it's been made and seconded to elect, or to
Who's the director?
put a posting out for the director position. Okay, was your motion in table?
You can't motion over a motion.
So, seeing no other discussion, we'll entertain a vote for that motion was just read. To open the position for nomination, or open the search for the director position. So all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like sign.
No.
Okay.
Motion carries.
Motion carried.
I'd like to explain my vote.
Okay.
I voted yes because looking to the future, if we need another agent, this is the only one I'm getting.
I agree.
And that's the only reason I'm looking at it, is because.
And I want to be clear, I agree with that, I'm just not sure that posting it right now is needed. I just don't know that we need an agent right now, I don't know that it would be better to make a decision 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now. And post that director position, knowing that is available to us at the time that we know we have to need for it. So that's my only reason for voting no, I just don't have that information to move forward with it. I am in favor of the director position, I'm just not sure it's something we need at this second. That's all.
So all the arches are pretty low.
Mhm.
Go with the
cost of in the school. Local, for sure.
But so if they're growing so much in their programming, is the programming needed for us? If that coverage is already out there? Well, yeah, but, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting too that fine arts is not in the top 15 priorities. You know, but that's what we did, they started vision on stuff.
Mental health.
It's not fine arts, trust me. Mental health is what I do for a living, that is not fine.
I appreciate all the discussion, I don't know, I can't tell you this, I think for most of it, I appreciate the conversation. That's what it takes to make decisions in the fact that, so, I feel with that.
One thing we do have to have in the minutes is the salary range for that position. Because we don't really know exactly who the candidate could be, so
So that's not just that, because I've got mine of 66.5 to 86.5.
you can use that salary range to be perfect.
Okay.
That gives you plenty of flexibility.
So do we need to do a second vote for that, or
Yeah,
just?
that'd be good.
If you state those numbers one more time, just not.
All right, so if someone is interested, it's I'll just repeat it. So the county director's salary position for my notes would be $66,500, $86,500. With benefits on top of that.
I'll make a motion that the, red, the red salaries, the position of director. We discussed.
Okay, so the motion, made, seconded, I think, Nick.
Okay, how do I like that in minutes? Because we vote. Do I just say,
You can actually have it.
because I already named
For the post and the regular position.
salary range for position was recognized, stated as fill in the blank on the in there. Motion made, okay, there we go. And that was very.
Yeah, second.
Sorry, guys, which is confusing because I already listed who made the motion for the position. Got it now.
Okay. Any other discussion on that motion? Okay. All those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. So next looks like, is, I'm not sure what this is, I'm sorry, but, line item transfers, is that Mark reading?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
So it's fiscal year 24 line item transfers. So when we, did the budget last year, there was only one interest payment included in account 62,300 under interest payments. So what we'll need to do is a line item movement. So basically we'll move those funds down into that account. So we have plenty of funds in the budget itself, it's just that we have to move them from the line item, say capital outlay down to cover the interest payment. It's only change. And so what we discussed at the meeting was waiting until next month where we get close to the end of the fiscal year. So we know exactly which accounts to move that fund out of, so we don't have to do multiple adjustments. We'll just have one adjustment at the end, move it, be done.
So that's something we'll do at June's meeting.
Yes.
Could you say the line item one more time?
Line item is, 62,300 interest payments is the very last one under debt service. So that line item currently, the budget is $77,487. That reflects the payment that's coming up in June. So the $81,851.30 that's currently in there was from the payment in December. So when that payment was made, there's a breakdown between the, principal and interest, and when we budgeted last year, it's only one interest payment off both of them. So we just have to move the funds next month to cover it.
Into that line item.
Yes. That cover everything.
Aligning the items that is needed at this time, this is to cover the interest payment, 6,200 interest payment is the line item. All right, 60,000,
62,300.
300, I like 300 there, that's fine. Okay.
yeah, Mark and I looked at your budget versus actuals, and there's money there to be moved to that line. We just need to see how much we're gonna spend as we get closer to here.
So do we need a motion to do this now, or is this something just for everyone's, for good organization?
When, wait, till we line up that one.
If we have to move it in June, let's just do that. Yeah, and that way we'll know exactly which line items are
Yeah.
bigger amounts of money. So what if we get money from one line or multiple lines into that kind?
Bottom line will stay the same, we still have things we do it way, well, just transferring.
Money's there.
Yeah.
Just different use.
Okay. I appreciate y'all bringing us up to speed on that then. We'll just wait till we're there.
And we made sure that both of those interest payments are in the budget for next year.
That's what brought our attention to this, was when we done the budget next year.
That's so high, it's so much higher.
And it just, putting the word out next month, we'll also decide what we're gonna do with that $1 million. So whether we send a CAGO, whether we choose to put in a CD or invest it here, where we got to decide, we need to decide that. So we can do it at the end of the fiscal year. That'll be June 30th, we'll need it done by June 30th,
Do you have
2020.
to put it in the CD or can you put it in the main market account?
It depends on what you pay aloud.
Is it FDIC related?
So currently,
Currently.
I mean, currently we have 2 money market accounts. It's just a matter, I guess my confusion was, we was only allowed to retain enough to cover 1 year operating budget. So what is their definition of retaining that? Like, is it within our session? Is it somewhere else? Like, I see it on the third.
I think you'll be,
On the fifth, yeah.
I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, there is a cap on it, something going on.
But sometimes they'll grant you like coverage on it.
It's right now, you have, it's 544,000 in money market at community trust and almost 400,000 in money market at farm and bank.
If you won't check for two, we'll turn the motion.
And nice offer in based on what you guys want.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll come to the next meeting.
Thank you.
Good. Any other line item transfer business?
Will you have a public comment?
So you have an oral letter.
Okay.
Also, I think, Mr. Martin has, the resignation letter, Mr. Swan's was, if we can include that.
I didn't see an other business on there this time either. Normally another business.
You have other things?
I have a question, but I'll wait after for comments.
So this letter is coming around, telling me, right before the meeting started. So Ray's not here to make it, so.
Was that something?
Yeah, if we have public comments, they just, yeah, y'all can just read it, you can read it out loud, so I can.
I can make copies if you like.
Public comments, you don't have to understand.
So we all want to sit here.
Exactly. You can just read it out loud. We don't necessarily go.
Somebody should, yes.
Okay.
This is from Ray Graves, to Boyle County District Board. I am writing this letter in reference to the last board meeting of the Boyle County District Board. I have thought about what happened that evening, even reached out to the judge to discuss my concerns. That being said, I'm now addressing the entire board about how I feel about what happened that evening. Going into the meeting, I knew the board was to vote on policy changes for the facility, as in fact I sat on the committee. I was fairly positive that the changes would pass, since 2 board members also sat on that committee. When asked about the implication of the board giving waivers, the reply was that the extension office best interest would be what mattered. I hope that was a true statement. However, immediately following, there was a motion in a very quick second that I agreed to host a sale for personal profit at the facility and removing the timeframe of only have a 3-month limit to reserve the facility. My thought of the matter is that if you have an attachment to a group, one should not make motions or vote on any items concerning that group. By attachment, I am referring to making monetary donations, receiving physical acknowledgement of support, for examples. I would have thought any member that was so attached to the group would have voiced their opinion, but would have at least abstained from any motions or voting on said groups. Perhaps I am looking at this matter in the wrong way, but wanted to let you know my concerns. I do hope that I'm looking at this in a different way. In most, as I really hope that the best interest of this board is for the extension office and the education value that may that they give back to the community. Any questions, please contact me, as I know most of you have my number. Sincerely, Ray Graves.
So if I paraphrase that as a letter shared by Ray Graves in order to express the displeasure in the vote surrounding the investment youth sale and meeting room policy. At the April meeting, would that be sufficient, or do I need to go into the next one? Please be attached letter. Okay, everyone.
So, pretty sufficient, yes.
No. You can.
So we need to take any action on that?
The letter was written.
Any other public comments for this evening?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
If there's falls into that category. Okay, so I met with, the director of Kentucky, Stone Conservancy Board, is that sound right? Okay. And Kentucky Stone Conservancy, what do they do? What does that mean?
Like, we're-
Build stone fences.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, and so we were discussing how we could ensure that the rock fences, are kept up, and the whole big discussion about property owners' responsibility for fences and state, county, local officials, helping to preserve those fences and clean out the fence rows and that kind of thing. And he mentioned the CAPE program, and he said it's through the extension district. So,
You know,
Through
is it paid?
conservation.
huh?
Through conservation.
Okay, he said specifically extension district, that's why I said, well, I'm meeting with this tonight. Oh, okay. So now that's conservation, okay, all right, let's tell me about that.
I will let you know that I know North Point in the past has done a bunch to repair those fences because they've used their inmates who have had those skill sets.
Right.
So that made that program, I think it has dwindled through COVID times, but that program may now be ready to start back up now that the prison is back to functioning post COVID.
Okay,
So that may be something to connect out with this one.
okay,
I know they do a lot of work to rehabilitate and provide places for those inmates.
they do training, they will actually train inmates to how to do it.
Yeah, so they'll have a job post. Incarceration.
Okay, so I need to put that.
They don't have access to English.
Any other?
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I don't, it's really good, the other one. I don't think he is even covered in case.
I don't know how, I don't know that it would be myself.
I mean, it's not even like that.
He said something about that homeowners, if homeowners were interested in doing it, they could apply, it's a $5,000, it's a $10,000 minimum and a $5,000 match that homeowners can get, property owners can get to fix their fences. I don't know, I just don't know.
We would have to pick the application before that application is made public. And that's a yearly process.
Yeah, he did say it was, yeah. So I don't know, and I don't even know if anybody would be interested, but I thought, well, I'll find out what it is and see if anybody has used it before, like the Garmin's or, because they, okay.
That's an item period.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else?
I make a motion to adjourn. Second.
Moving second. All
Quick
those-
second on that.
All, I don't think there's any discussion on that one, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
June 17th at 5:30, and our next meeting. And I will, go through and, print their pages up and not do them shorthand runs, typing and copying, and I will use them.
You both did an excellent job.
Thank you. Otherwise, you weren't gonna, since Barbara's not here. And it's just. Do I have to? And I.
Yeah.
Do you want me to keep these, or would you like to, would you mind to email them to me so that I can attach them? I don't want to be responsible for that document.
Is that amendment?
Oh, I have two actually.
The June 17th, right?
17th, it's a Monday, it's a Monday, a Thursday meeting, Monday.